Hello everyone. Hello. How are we all? Okay? I say all. No one there yet, obviously. So I'm going to press the go button. Just sharpening my pencil with Tigger. There we go, nice sharp point on there. Hello to the one person that's with me now. 2 people. I'm going to bring the laptop over. So I can see you. Excuse me for a minute. All 5 of you now. Crikey. That's good stuff. Say hello if you're there and watching. I'll load you up on here so I can see your comments. Oh, can you hear me okay? Hey Clive, hey Louise. Lovely to see you both. You know the drill, guys, you know the drill. If you're watching... Say hello if you're... Whoops, sorry. If you're watching, please share the Wildlife Illustration Workshop. Don't know if you hung around for the last one, either of you, but we're growing a couple of trees. Look, we've got a field maple there. We've got a hazel tree there. We're going to try and keep them tiny. Very excited about that. Very excited indeed. And it's quite appropriate for what we're going to do today. Something a little bit different. Time is presently, well, 2 o'clock, bang on. So, welcome to the British Wildlife Tales live children's illustration workshop. It's a wildlife illustration workshop, but today it's wildlife with a little bit of a difference. Today we're going to draw our first flower, our first wild plant. So this is a plant species which is a small flower. It's native to Great Britain and also a number of different European countries as well. It's quite widespread across the world, but it's one of our earliest flowering wild flowers, wild plants in the UK. It's called, and I'm going to tell you the Latin name first, that's the scientific name. It's called Primula Vulgaris. Primula Vulgaris. It's a primrose, a wild primrose. It's a gorgeous little flower, and we're going to use the same techniques as we normally do. We're going to keep it simple, using shapes, circles, curves, that sort of thing. And we'll see how it goes. Never done this before. Alex, hi, how are you doing? Right, so yeah, it's something new for me, something new for you as well. I'm just going to draw that blind down. Not draw it with a pencil, that'd be silly, wouldn't it? I'm going to pull it down so it's not so bright. Oh, in fact, I'll tell you what, just come over here because I don't need to do that. Let's just get you over here, shall we? Excuse me while I get the camera set up. Mum's there. Hi, Mum. Mum's got them in her garden. I know Mum's got them in her garden. It's my garden too. So, oh, where are we? Hopefully you've got the whole page here. So, pencils on the ready, at the ready I should say. We need to have a rubber handy. A rubber, whoops, that's my little rubber. You can have all sorts of rubbers. You can have a funny little monster rubber. You can have a boring little, it's actually not boring, it's quite a cute rubber. I like that rubber. That's more of an arty rubber. any rubber you like, doesn't matter. And we're going to need to use greens today, coloured pencils, green. Probably a lightish shade of green. You might go over that with a dark, so something like that maybe. We're also going to need a yellow like that, or perhaps like that. And we're going to need an orange like that for sure. Maybe a couple of other shades of green as well. But certainly we are going to need our regular pencil here. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to start off by drawing a circle, and we're going to do it very lightly, like we normally do. Okay, nice and light. And then we're going to do another one about the same size next to it. Another one about the same size over here. I'll slow down in a second so you can catch up. And actually you can put these circles anywhere you like around the middle of the page. So we're going to do 5 circles. Again, draw them very lightly. Here we go. So draw your circles anywhere you like, very lightly, because we're going to rub the main circles out. Okay. Can you all see my circles okay? I'm just going to turn off the Wi-Fi here a second. There we go. Sorry about the quality of the picture there. It should come back. How are we doing? Yay, okay, fab. Great. So, all you need to use these circles for is a guideline. All right, so I've got 5 circles randomly placed around the middle-ish of the page. Now your circles can be anywhere you like around this sort of centre area. And then what we're going to do is we're going to draw some leaves coming out. So the leaves are going to be ovals, or what we call ellipses. You might get them called ellipses at school. So we're going to do a long ellipse there. We're going to hide them behind our flowers. Okay. There we go. So we're going to hide them behind our flowers, these ellipses. Don't forget, if you're watching, to say hello. See, lots of ellipses around the outside. Looks a bit weird, doesn't it? It will come together, don't worry. It will come together. Looks like a mess of different shapes. So lots of ellipses, ovals. Rounded ovals, really. And they're just our guidelines, like I said. So we will start drawing now. We want to draw a small spot in the middle of each of our circles. And we're going to do a line, a very, very faint line, coming down the front. And we're going to do another one. We're going to do 5 lines. Try and space them evenly. It doesn't matter if they're not spaced totally evenly. 5 very light lines. coming out of the middle roughly equally spaced around the outside. So, and what we're going to do, we're going to convert, we're going to change these sections of the flower into hearts. So we'll go like this. Again, do it quite lightly. So each one we're going to make into a heart. And the same on this one. See, look at the hearts. There we go. Another heart there. Because these are the petals of the flower. And these are one of the earliest flowering plants. I think I mentioned this already. One of the earliest flowering plants in the UK. And the reason that's important and why I've picked this flower today, don't forget to keep drawing all your heart shapes around the outside of here. There we go. The reason we've picked this flower is because it's an early flowering plant. It's really important for the butterflies which emerge first. The butterflies and other pollinators like bees. A pollinator is an insect or a creature that carries pollen, which is the dusty yellow stuff inside of a plant, from one flower to the next, and it makes the flower produce new flowers next year. And they're important because obviously the more flowers there are, the more pollinators there are. The more pollinators there are, then the more things that can eat the pollinators. The more varieties there are, the more food plants that become fertilized, and they propagate, and they propagate is probably a bit too big a word, isn't it? They multiply, so they seed, and they increase their numbers. That's what propagate means. They propagate their seeds. So, but the great thing about this plant as well is that when they seed, so once the pollinators, in this case the bumblebee perhaps, or the butterfly, maybe a brimstone butterfly, once they have pollinated, moved the pollen from one to the other, and they've created the seeds or fertilized the plant so it makes the seeds have got a fleshy part, a sticky, squishy part to them. And ants, little ants, insects, they really like the fleshy part, the squishy part of the seed. So they take it and they move it from one part of the garden or the hedgerow or the verge by the side of the road. They move it from one place to another and they move it into their nest. And then what happens is the plant eats or harvests the squishy part, and then what happens is the seed is left to grow another plant in a different place. And that keeps going, so that when you see one of these plants, you'll more than likely see a great many of them. Now they've got wonderful yellow flowers. So here's what we're going to do. We are going to draw a curved line between each of our hearts about halfway up. Can you see what I'm doing? Look at that. So there we go. It goes across the line. See that? Round about there. Whoops. Haven't done that one right, have I? Doesn't matter. So we're going to go here, 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 and here. So there we go. And the reason we're doing that is because there are typically two colours in our primrose, and they are light yellow and orange. So what we're going to do is we're going to just go over our leaf now, and these leaves have got crinkled edges. If you've ever had cabbage, they're a bit like cabbage leaves. There we go. I'm going to go around these ovals, these ellipses. An ellipse is basically an egg shape. R1 is stretched, isn't it? R1s are stretched on this plant. So they don't need to be neat. Now, you might have varieties of these in your garden, not wild ones. You might have wild ones as well, but you might have different varieties of these in your garden. Now, we're going to draw a line out from the centre of each of these ellipses. Put another one in there, shall we? And one going out from there. Just splitting it in half a little, and we're going to draw wiggly lines going in and out. See these wiggly lines? Wiggly lines coming out from that middle line. Wiggly lines to give it the effect of that cabbagey looking leaf. Look at that. Look out, I'm not being very neat, am I? It doesn't matter, because these aren't very neat plants, although they look utterly beautiful. They look absolutely beautiful. So I think what we'll do is we'll start to colour now. Should we put some grass in the background? Little zigzaggy line in the background, perhaps? This just gives us the suggestion of grass. They tend to grow in grassland. See, look, little wiggly lines going up in the air, up in the air. There we go. They sometimes grow in grassland, so what we'll do is we'll get the green pencil now and go over those little lines. See, I'm not even copying the lines exactly. Look at that. Look at that. There we go. Little straight and wiggly lines. Scribbly lines. And now what we'll do is we'll just colour in very scruffily all of those leaves in the same green. Look, I'm not being very neat, am I? It's okay, you don't have to be very neat. Is it raining where you are? It's raining here. You might be able to hear it. It's raining on the roof, obviously, and it's very windy as well. We haven't had a lot of wind or rain, have we? Not for a long time. It's not been particularly warm, and these wildflowers, thankfully, have been a bit of a saviour. Okay, so we'll take that yellow now, the light yellow, not the orange, and we're going to colour in the whole of our flower in that yellow. Look at that. I'm not being very neat at all. I'm not being very neat at all. I'm just colouring in across our flower. So from circles, we've gone from circles to ovals. We've added dots in the centre of our circles, and we've drawn spokes, little lines coming out of these lovely flowers. We've made hearts out of those lines. Very simple shapes. And now what we're going to do is we're going to, inside these little five-sided stars, we're going to just colour it in orange. Any shade of orange you like, as long as it's darker than your yellow. Look at that. Look, I'm not even being very neat, am I? Look, that's got 6 on it. That's not right. Doesn't matter. Okay. Doesn't matter. We're going to go like that. And then once we've done those centres, we're going to go even darker in the middle. But we're going to do it with the same pencil. So we're going to just do a circle inside, pressing a little bit harder inside the middle of our Primula Vulgaris, our primrose. What do you think about that? So, and what we do once we've done all of the shapes is we get our yellow pencil again, and we're just going to darken the underside, the bottom edge. Just the bottom edge, not the whole of our flower, just the bottom edge. We're going to imagine our sun is somewhere over here, shining down in this direction. You don't have to draw this arrow. Shining down in this direction, so that this side of our leaves, our petals, leaves, is not receiving as much sun as the other side. Okay, so we're going to colour in all the way down here, all the way down here. Look at that. It makes such a difference to the shape, or how the shape of the flower appears. We're just darkening that edge where the sun doesn't quite hit it as much. Do the same here. Look how scruffy we are. Look how scruffy we are. Look at that. Scruffy, scruffy, scruffy. Scruffy, scruffy, scruffy. There we go. Just on the bottom edge. Don't forget, we're not going to do this side because the sun is hitting that. So that means we also need to do the same for our leaves. So we'll just darken these distant edges, and also where our flower shades our leaves. Just show around the outside of, shading around the outside of our leaves, underneath the leaf that overlaps the other one, where the sun can't reach quite as well. Look at that. Underneath this one, look. Underneath where the sun can't quite reach the leaf. Bottom of this leaf. Bottom of this leaf. Look, I'm not doing much of it, am I? I'm not doing much of that leaf at all. I might just do a touch in the middle to show where the leaf dips in. There we go. Just up this edge here, again here, a little bit there, edge of this leaf, underneath the flower, underneath the flower there. See what difference that makes to the shape of our leaf. And now all we're going to do is we're going to take a black pencil. We always need to use a black pencil. This one's a bit blunt, so I'm going to sharpen it because I do need it to be quite sharp. I'm going to use Tigger. Here's Tigger. Stick the pencil in Tigger's nose, wiggle Tigger's tail, squish his ear, and look, there we go. Lovely, lovely pointed pencil. we're going to go round the outside. Whoops, that often happens when you've just sharpened a pencil. Around the outside. We haven't even needed to use our rubber, have we? Because you can't see our original circles, can you? Here we go. Don't worry if you don't go around the lines that you originally drew perfectly. Round the outside. So have any of you seen a primrose before? Now I've shown you what one is. Did you already know it? Grown-ups, if you're watching, you're allowed to answer too. It's not just for children really, is it? So here goes. It's going around the outside of all of our shapes. Might just darken the inside here. Darken the inside here. Around the outside of all of our petals. The petals are the attractive part of the flower. They're the bit which really attracts all of the bees and butterflies from a long way off. We'll do the same around the outside of our leaves. See what we're doing there? Again, we're not making any effort to go exactly over the original lines that we drew. In fact, sometimes it looks even better if we don't. You can leave gaps, you can be untidy. We're here to enjoy our drawing. We're not here to make a perfect picture. We're here to make a simple but pretty drawing. Yeah, so Primula Flowers, that's really interesting, Alex. Alex has said that he liked eating Primula Flowers. And Primula Flowers are these flowers here, look. So these flowers, you can actually eat them. Now, you shouldn't really pick them from the wild because they're a protected species. So if you see them in the wild, you shouldn't really pick them. What you should do is you should perhaps go to a garden centre and buy some seeds and plant them in your garden, and you can use them with your salads, and they're really quite nice. In fact, at the weekend I was eating lots of wildflowers and plants. I was eating white dead nettles, goose grass. So these are nettles that don't sting you. See, look, I'm just going over the lines in our leaves just to make it look a little bit more bold. What else did I eat? Ground mint. It looks a little bit like a purple nettle. Did I say goose grass? Goose grass. Jack by the hedge. In fact, I've got a little book here somewhere. If we've got a couple of minutes. Jack, oh look, opened right on that page. Jack by the hedge, look. There we go. You can add these leaves to a salad. You can use it as a sauce for lamb as well. Interesting, isn't it? What else did we have? So a little goose grass, there we go. This is the kind of grass that sticks to your clothes when you're out and about. It looks like a star stuck to a stem. You pluck it, throw it at someone, and it sticks to their jumper. It's also known as cleavers, and you can sorry.
Sticky weed.
Yep, sticky what weed?
Sticky weed.
Sticky weed, yeah, sticky weed, sticky grass, and yeah, it will stick on your clothes, but you can eat it as well. It's better to get it really early in the year. Anyway, that's just a little bit of something there. Thanks very much for sharing that with us, Alex. Yeah, you grow them in the garden. Perfect. So, I mean, it's a great thing to have in your garden, isn't it? Let's just go over and add some dark lines to our grass. I think we're finished really with that. So what we'll do is we'll give it our name. So it's Primrose, and it's the date today is the 4th of May 2021, and my name, you should put your name on yours, don't put my name, is Carl Minot. And that is our Primrose. So hopefully you've really enjoyed learning to draw a wild flower. I have. Something I've never tried before, but actually I really quite enjoyed that. Let's move you around a little bit. There we go. Yeah, I really rather enjoyed that. I might do another one. How have you found that? We've done that bang on half an hour, bang on 30 minutes. So, I don't know if you were watching when we first started, but we've got our field maple here and our ash. Look, I've painted a slate there as well. There's no, it's not ash at all, it's hazel. I'd like to grow an ash tree. Now that hopefully will stay rather small and grow in our little pots. It's a little experiment that we've got going on here. Show us your pictures. It'd be great to see them. If you can pop them in the comments, that would be wonderful. If not, drop me a message, hit the British Wildlife Tales name, the link, and send it to me in a message using that. Alex, thanks very much for your contribution there. I hope you enjoy eating your primroses from your garden. They should still be flowering right now, but they will be going off shortly. So hurry up, get them in your salad quickly, because they tend to stop during the month of May, and that's when they start growing their seeds. And the ants start getting busy carrying them about around the garden. But look out in your hedgerows, where all of the trees, the small trees and shrubs are separating the fields. Have a look on the edge of the grass near the hedgerows, on the edge of your woodland and in woodland tracks. Enjoy the beauty of the primrose. I love it. It's a wonderful flower. I look forward to seeing it every winter. Just as we start flipping into the new year, we might start to see them. So enjoy your walks out and about. Get your parents. Make sure they take you out and about. Get you off those screens and out there enjoying and smelling those flowers. Have fun, everyone. You take care. Bye-bye.